All right, we're live.
Hello everyone. Welcome back. Nice to see you guys again. Welcome to Dojocast Ep.6. And I am Hyun, and of course, I'm here with my two hosts, Mr. Stone and Hatena.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
Yo, what's up, guys? And oh man, I'm excited today because we have a special. I mean, all of our guests are special, but we have a extra special guest today, and that is that man hovering over my lifeless body. It's Alan Becker, everyone. We got him on finally. Let's go.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love these little graphics.
yeah, Alan, how are you doing, man? It's nice to see you.
I'm doing very well, Hyun. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I mean, like we've all seen your face before, but it's good to see your true form finally come out.
Yeah, I don't remember you being so sharp, like so pointy.
Exactly.
Like, you know?
I don't
It-
show this form very often, no.
It's a good look. I like it. I think you should do it more often. But
You're right. Good.
well, before we get started with Alan, I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions for him. We do as well. Let's do some community announcements as always, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. So the first announcement, I mean, I guess Hatena can take away this one because it's relating to him.
Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah, go ahead.
mine, and this is all about me now. Pay attention,
Sorry, buddy.
everyone. No, I'm hosting another community collaboration. It's been open for a while. We had a slight extension lately, so there's about 3 more weeks left to make an entry for the Rock, Paper, Scissors Collab. The concept, very simple. It's this.
Oh my.
Paper, scissors. I still need to make a part for this.
You always wait till last minute.
Great.
Dude, I'm famous for joining like 9 collabs and then procrastinating like one day before
Nice.
making a part. But yeah, I'll get started soon. Don't worry about it.
Cool,
I got
you
this.
better. Anyway,
Yeah,
so that's the premise. You do rock paper scissors, and then you die horrifically, or wonderfully, or wholesomely, however you want. But yeah, that's open for another 3 more weeks until applications are closed. So yeah, have fun with it. Link will be in the description.
Very cool.
Cool. Also, wait, there is a last minute announcement. Sorry, I gotta squeeze this in.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The Pluto just DM'd me right now. He said the Stickfigurez playtest is dropping this Monday. So there's no link where you can go right now, but we'll update the link after this podcast is over. Where you can get access to that playtest. It's gonna start on Monday, you guys. All right, I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna be playing as well. And that is that announcement. Also, the last announcement that we have, relating to Alan Becker. Alan, you wanna?
Yeah, so we're hiring. I guess we're always kind of looking for new animators.
Yeah.
But particularly, we need more people that know Blender and can animate stick figures because, like, we're doing a lot more grease pencil with some of our episodes. So the link, I don't know where the link's going to be, but we have a link
Yep,
to
it's in the
apply.
description. Yep.
Oh, great. In the description, fill out the Google form. Just show us your reel, and we'd love to have you.
Yeah, that's perfect because I know a lot of you guys animate stick figures, and Alan Becker is looking for, indeed, stick figure animators. And I know we actually have a lot of Blender people as well in our community. So if you know how to animate stick figures and use a bit of Blender, make sure to click on that link in the description, you guys. It's a good job opportunity that is available. All right. Cool. I think that is it for the announcements.
Yeah, let's just dive into it.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
shall I get into the questions here? I know everyone's probably chomping at the bit to want to get into these.
Oh,
Yeah, let's do it. We have a lot.
We do, and I'm now, Alan. I'm sure you've answered this question in the past because this has got to be one of the most common questions I think I've ever gotten. But what got you started in stick figure animation?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's such a simple question, but I actually don't know if I have like a standard answer. I mean, I started animating when I was 10. I was doing like
10?
like pixel GIF animations, like back then. Flash, I don't think Flash was a thing back then, so I was using this very rudimentary thing. And then when I was like, I did that for a couple months and then didn't animate ever again until like high school. That's when I heard about Flash, and Flash was like, oh, there's onion skinning. Oh, you can make like a background. Oh, oh wow, it's really easy. Oh, other people are doing it. Oh, they're making these fight scenes, and like that was back in 2005.
Yeah.
So
That is crazy. So you started when you're around 10 years old. So you were just a wee little Becker back
it's a
then.
wee little Becker, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of us kind of, well, I guess at least for me and Stone, like we kind of grew up in that same kind of environment. But I started like way later when I was like 18, 19, I think, in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 13. I think it was 2003, 2004
Wow.
for me. And
That is insane.
dude, I remember because there's just back then there was no resources for anything like tutorials. YouTube wasn't really, I don't know if it even existed yet.
It did not.
But so like I remember the first day I saw the stick fight animations. I wanted to get into it, and there was it took me 8 hours to figure out how to go to the next frame. I was so excited. I was so excited with the program. I was like, I can't wait. This is so exciting. And I was like animating on the same frame as if that meant something. And then I think I accidentally bumped it and it erased. I'm like, oh my God, I erased everything. And I realized I went to the next frame. And I'm like, oh
yeah.
My whole world's unlocked.
What about you, Atena? When did you start? You're a late bloomer, right? A little bit.
Oh, well, so I forget what year I was in third grade, and I don't want to do the math, but it was when I was in third grade. Yeah, well,
what the heck?
Kind of. That's the first time I opened Pivot, because at school we had a computer science class, and we were just being taught the basics, like how to use a keyboard. But you could come in during lunch if you wanted, and not a lot of people would, because at that period, at least at my school, wasn't really popular. But I saw this one kid who was using Pivot, and he was animating a stick figure and an elephant, and I was like, well, I want to try that. And I started moving around the stick figures on my own, and I was like, where's the animate button? How do I make it look good? And then I asked the kid across the room, like, how are you doing this? How do I do this right? And he's like, no, you have to move them every single frame. Like, you have to think about their movement. I was like, that's stupid. Who wants to do that? And then a few years later, I started doing it again on Flipnote Studio, and then eventually discovered Hyun's Dojo in mid to late 2015. And that's when I started really getting into stick figure animations.
Yeah, damn. Wow. Well, wait, going back to Alan. So like when you first started, right? When was like between that and like you making the first viral animation that you made? Animator versus animation, right? The very first one.
Well, from when I got into Flash, I played around just a little bit, and it was my second thing that I posted on Newgrounds that went viral, which is definitely not how it usually goes, and it's not like I'm not here to brag or anything, but like that's just what happened. So it was, like a couple months.
What kind of gave you that iconic idea of stick figures interacting with like the desktop, because that was like insane back then, and no one even like would think about doing that kind of thing.
Like an amalgamation of many sources, because I think I'd seen there were some animations out there that had like a stick or like a cursor. And there was like one called Icon Story, where icons fight each other. I think there was some where there's a cursor briefly. Like that was a mouse thief game you could play, and then there was all those like Daffy Duck fights against the animator
Oh yeah, dude, I remember that one. So wait, so
Yeah.
you're actually pretty inspired by that one, right?
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Cool. Cool.
Yeah, photos using imagery, like actual like screenshots of things, I remember was scary back then, just because like if you were using, I think it was Flash MX 2004 at the time, like even up till Flash 8 and including Flash 8, things would crash Flash regularly. And if there's one thing that I
Yeah.
remember that would crash it so easily, was using any kind of photos for whatever
Yeah.
reason. And so it's like, I think that's one thing that I would like bring in a reference for a background or something. And I would start to use it, and it would get to the point where if I had it too large or whatever, you would like draw, and then it would have you have to like wait a couple seconds, and then it would then show the line where it was. I just remember it was like hard to use photo. I remember watching animator versus animation, just like the whole time I'm thinking about how you had to break different things up into movie clips, and how different each of like certain parts of it were going to be graphics that were like taken images. And I was like, oh my god, I couldn't imagine my computer surviving it the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Mine didn't crash too much. I guess I got missed a bullet there. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Wait, so like I don't think I was even animating back then when that was released.
No, you would have seen like, was Flash 8 your first Flash?
Yeah, it was. Oh no, it was.
Yeah.
My first Flash was Flash CS3, and then I went back to Flash 8.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
But,
there
like-
was Flash MX, then there was Flash MX 2004,
Yeah.
and
That was
then
way
it went
before my time.
Then it went Flash 8, and Flash 8 was like, because we got blurs and filters on movie clips that didn't exist. That wasn't a thing.
Oh yeah.
So that was
wow.
like a huge jump. That was like, I remember that being so exciting. But
But yeah, that's the thing. Like since I didn't really know about Flash back then when watching Alan's animation, I legit thought everything was just real.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know it was animated. I thought it was like, yo, this guy's computer is like, there's something wrong with this computer.
I had when I was in middle school, I had a kid who was about to go into like some kind of military school, but just before he left, he decided to start the rumor that he made animator versus animation. I was like, I don't
Wow.
think you did. I mean, the dude's
don't
name
think
is
we-
Alan, and I know yours is not Alan.
Yeah,
common
nobody-
misconception.
That's
Common
the
misconception.
that's
It's like
interesting
10
too,
men.
because like back then our community was like pretty separate,
Yeah.
and then you were kind of on your own, right, Alan? Like you didn't really
Yeah.
have any community
No.
doing your thing, and we were all just like, bro, who's this Alan Becker guy? Like he must be like some kind of software engineer from Universal Studios or something, like making this kind of stuff.
No way.
Yeah, that was so strange because it felt like at the time we knew everyone in the space, and so
Yeah.
like it was so incredibly rare for a stick figure animation to pop up somewhere that we didn't know where it came from, who it was. They're like well within the community, and it was like you could I would say less than 10 people over time, where it was like, where did this even come from? And it just boom, dragon, it's just there. And what's funny is I used animator versus animation to describe to other people what I did for so long because it was so big and so many, like whether you were 5 or 80, anyone could have seen it and could have enjoyed it at the entire spectrum. So I'd be like, have you ever seen like when the stick figure like destroys the computer desktop? That and I'd be like, I do something kind of like that. And they go, oh, because like there was no other bridge I could get
Yeah,
like
that is true.
to the average like viewer or just someone I'm talking to, that asked me what I was doing or whatever. So it was the perfect segue to explain it.
That's funny that you guys were like kind of like wondering, oh, who's this Alan guy? Because like I was on the other side, like seeing
No way, dude.
all the RHG stuff and like Stick Page and Fluid Anims and being like, oh my gosh, these guys are so cool. And then Hyun reaches out to me much later, hey, you wanted to join Hyun's dojo? I'm like, oh my god, it's Hyun.
Wait, there's no dude. I don't even remember doing that. Like that's crazy.
I was
Such a long
excited. I
time
was like,
ago.
oh my god, I get to be one of the stick figure people. Like,
That's so cool.
get to join because I was like, on my own and didn't have any friends.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's a small world, dude. It's a small world. Yeah, you didn't have. I'm sorry. We should have reached out sooner, bro. Like that.
No, it's fine. I had friends.
It all worked out.
So like after the first, like the first massive hit of animator versus animation. I mean, that, like I said, it was like the second thing you uploaded to Newgrounds. And for those listening, like getting the front page of Newgrounds back then was the Olympic gold medal. That was like, it wasn't, it wasn't getting a bunch of views necessarily, or getting on like YouTube didn't even exist. It was like, you got the front page of Newgrounds. That was the front page of the internet for what we were doing. So like after that success of that, did you take a break after animator versus animation before like moving back into stick figure animation or moving forward with the series?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I mean, I saw animator versus animation as like a cool thing that happened, but I wanted to be an animator, you know, and everyone knows that you're not an animator unless you work at Pixar or
Exactly. I've heard that so many times.
so I was like, okay, well, I gotta reach for my dream, and yeah, I went to college, got a degree in animation, applied for my internship at DreamWorks and at Pixar, didn't get in, and I was like, okay, well, I didn't get in. That was my chance, and I blew it. And well, guess I'll find some job at some local business or something, doing like graphic design or something. But it was my teacher at my senior year of college who was like, who knew about my animations. He was like, don't you have like people following you? Couldn't you do something with that? And so the idea was that I would continue my series, even though I was like pretty set on like it being a trilogy, animator versus animation 1, 2, 3, and at the end of 3, everyone dies, like the computer crashes.
Jesus Christ!
Very Avengers of you.
How do you continue from there? But I decided to continue it anyway, and that's where we got the main cast of my channel, the orange, yellow, green, blue, red.
That's crazy.
All because of my teacher.
It's so funny how life works out, because like what a gift it was for you to not get hired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? At that time, it must have been the most soul-crushing, like defeating thing ever.
Yeah.
And it's like everything that followed would not have happened, or most likely would not have happened, if that didn't happen. So you have this huge pivotal wall that was so critical in like moving you back in this direction, and you're able to pivot to something so just wonderful for like the whole world to enjoy, you know? And it's just, it's funny how that always seems to work out that way, you know? Bounces you back and forth.
No regrets. I actually do not wish in any way that I was working for someone else at a big studio.
Right?
I love having my own thing and having control over my own creativity.
That's crazy, because like I feel like every person, especially when they're kind of like in the creative field, right? They always have that big turning point decision that they have to make in their lives, because there's like, you grow up as a normal kid going to school and you know, just trying to get a degree and like, I don't know what, like a standard degree in the jobs field, but then you gotta like make that really big leap into like, do I want to do this thing that's gonna like risk everything versus not doing it and then like doing something else.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's crazy that you've like kind of gone through that same thing.
I guess so.
It was so much not like I had the same sentiment of like, Stickfigurez was like, yeah, it's a fun cutesy little thing, but you're not really an animator until you either get that job or at the bare minimum start animating like full body figures. That was like, now you get to say that you're an animator, you know, because you're able to move an actual like figure, a cartoon that everyone else would be able to perceive. And this always brings me back to this question, because this is the question I had to ask myself was, what is your favorite thing about Stickfigurez as an animation medium?
Oh yeah. Stickfigurez get so much hate. Like, oh,
dude, I know.
I was a hater when I started.
Yeah.
I thought they were so lazy.
You have so much more like creative freedom, and like when you don't have to animate the hair, like the the eyes. I mean, you can get an animation done so quickly and have the same impact. I mean, you do have to be a really good storyteller, and like it is also a challenge to pull it off without, facial features.
Faces, yeah.
Yeah. But it's really fulfilling when you can pull it off, like make people cry without faces or words.
Yeah.
It's a fun challenge, but it also opens a door for everyone in the world to enjoy your content without speaking the same language. Um, I mean, I guess faces wouldn't hurt, but still, it's a lot more to animate. And yeah,
Was that like a conscious decision that you made? Like, do I want faces or no faces in the future or anything like that? You know?
it was like, yeah, because like I guess I did notice like people were doing stick figure animation, but then they'd cut to the close up, and then you'd see their face and their
Yeah.
hands and stuff. And I guess I just never cut to a close up before.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think sometimes you do cut to close-ups,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just their blank face. But like, I think you do it in a really smart way. In that, like, sometimes you just hold that shot, right? And like,
Mhm.
kind of the audience can kind of just like imagine what kind of faces that they're making in that
Mhm.
situation, and like their body language and all that, and it kind of just fills in that gap, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is true, but I think people might get like a sense of fulfillment, like understanding what the stick
Yeah.
figure is feeling. Like, like oh,
Yeah.
I know what I know what they're feeling, even though I can't even
Yeah,
see their
exactly.
faces.
It's
And
like they connect to it almost on a personal level because it's like their own interpretation is what is
Right.
giving them the perspective they're getting from the animation. They're like, this is how I feel. Then it's like, whoa, it's like I'm reaching back. Like it's not just the entertainment. They're looking in, they have to read into it a little bit, which, stick figures have such a beautiful way of being so clear in their clarity and delivering whatever message or image you're trying to animate. It's the same reason why they're used for like construction. It's something you could so
Yeah.
easily see it and can convey something, and your brain doesn't need all the details because you're conveying that one thing. But when you're telling a story and just the subtle angle of the head or subtle angle of the pose of the body, and allowing the viewer to kind of like imagine with everything else of context of what they're doing. It's funny because in a vacuum you look at it and it's like, how could that be him being sad? It's like a still shot, but you're like leading everything into that. Oh, I get it completely now.
Yeah.
It's very funny how that works out, but it's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like that's one of the things that inspires me as well, because and like last episode we were talking about G sticks, and like how adding facial features and other features to stick figures can give them more emotions and stuff,
Mhm.
and that kind of resonates with people. But like, I'm glad that you're like the exact opposite of that spectrum,
Yeah.
but you can still kind of pull it off, like the same kind of feelings and emotions and
Mhm.
storytelling and all that. And yeah, that's really inspiring to me as well. Very nice job, man.
Thank you.
So going back to, where you did your big hit animation, you went to college, and you went in for the job offer, got declined, and you're looking back at continuing your series. Did you ever think in that moment that, like, could you have ever imagined for your channel to become one of the top % in the world in this thing that you were about to step into? Because like I can imagine the fear in that moment. You're like, okay, I guess I'm doing this now. At least I'm going to give this a shot. Let's try it again, and you get to scale into where you're at. Could you ever like imagine that would be where you are now?
No, I mean, when I started, I yeah, my sights were so short-sighted in the beginning. Like I just want to be on the front page of Newgrounds or something like that. Like
Right.
Yeah,
It's such
that
a
was my
smaller
goal.
scale.
Yeah. And I think it was just a lot of things just fell into place. Like I had no idea that I would attract such a like international audience, and gain probably way more followers than I would have if I had included talking, voice acting, or words in my animations. So that was a very lucky thing that allowed the channel to definitely reach a lot more people. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very fortunate. Oh, look, we can see some of the.
Yeah,
animation.
I don't think
Mhm.
anyone can kind of imagine their success in the future to that kind of scale. And yeah, it was the same for me. Like before I started Hyun's Dojo as a community and a channel and all that, it was all while I was going to school, and it was for the longest time it was just a hobby, right? And just a bunch of
Yeah.
us just doing animations together. Um, but yeah, I feel like our channel as well has come really far and to
Yeah.
represent stick figures
Mm-hmm.
and the community of the like. So
Yeah.
it's crazy like how fortunate we are in
Yeah.
that sense.
I'm glad you've stuck with it all this time, Hyun. If you guys don't know, I've tried to rope in Hyun into our team so many times, and he's like, no, I can't leave my dojo behind.
Oh yeah, dude. Like Alan has tried to hire me, and I had to deny it. But then but ended up being a good thing because
Yeah.
you got Hatena, which I recommended, and he's really good at his job.
Yeah.
Oh,
For those who
stop
don't know,
it.
Hatena is my production manager, or I guess as the industry says, line producer. That's
Well,
what
it started more as production manager, but then as we continued growing, it morphed into line producer.
line producers. Like
But
you're
yeah.
just in charge of every like production, like making
Yeah.
sure everyone's doing stuff. So
Yeah,
High
that is
communication.
insane. Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of the chat didn't even know Hatena is the production manager for Alan Becker. Did you
Oh
guys know?
yeah. Hi chat. I work for Alan.
Yep.
here we are.
Yeah. So
Secrets out.
so then, because originally it was just you when you were working on animator versus animation in like the early days. So when did you decide to start building a team and why?
Um, so I it started okay. So it's really hard when you have such a particular vision, and you don't trust anyone else to like do that, like fulfill that same vision. So it was very it took me a while before I like was okay with trusting someone else. So I made Animator versus Animation 1, 2, 3, and 4 all completely on my own. And then with Animation versus Minecraft, that's when I first like decided to experiment. And like I did it with the diamond armor on the stick figures, because that was an extremely tedious process, and like putting each like chest plate, headpiece on each character for every frame. I felt like I could teach animators to do that, and so that was the first little dipping my toes into delegation.
How many people is that? Like in that case?
I think I think it was like five people, like
Oh, 5 people. All right.
Oh
like
wow.
such a simple like task, like oh I didn't even so like I actually did experiment with having a team with this personal Minecraft project that I started like in the middle of like making Animator versus Animation 4. Like I had a bunch of people in a server working together to make like Hayao Miyazaki's animations in Minecraft, like Spirited Away, Totoro,
Oh yeah.
and I ended up getting a bunch of people. It was all completely free, like unpaid labor, like, and we'd have weekly calls with the managers, and the managers would like assign jobs to builders, and the builders would like like take a plot of land and make their builds. So that was my actual entry into like having a team without any stakes. Like I wasn't paying anyone, so it was just giving me practice.
Right.
That's crazy. So like you kind of use your Minecraft server
Yes.
to teach yourself how to organize a group and
Unconscious.
delegate tasks and stuff like that, and then you
Yeah.
transfer that into animation.
It ended up working out that way. Yeah.
That's awesome. I did not know that.
I almost forgot about it, and yeah, I think they're still working on it without me completely.
Oh, really?
I haven't even
Wow.
checked in on it.
Yeah, it's so funny how life can, especially if you're like following your interests, how life can give you these skills that are seemingly like one task completely unrelated to
Yeah.
something else. Yet it becomes a fundamental skill that you now need for the first thing you were doing, and you would have never have thought you'd be able to connect the line between these two different
Yeah.
worlds. And then, you know, you get to loop back and have this very, very special skill that is, you know, helps you get to success in the thing that you were trying to work towards as a bigger picture thing, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. So, what happened next after the Diamond Armor was a animation versus YouTube, and actually Stone, we're sitting right here, was one of the first animators that I hired for that, and him and Oxob were the two like people that I trusted to animate the stick figures. Basically, just getting
I was
knocked
so
around.
excited. I was
Actually.
so incredibly like the timing couldn't have been more perfect because that was right when I just started doing like freelance stuff. And I was literally like 2 weeks away from never having to be able to animate ever again. It was the
Wow.
perfect time. Yeah, because I had lost my stick page contract. I was completely having to start over. And I just all of a sudden on my YouTube, a bunch of people started flooding in, didn't know why. And you had that little like trailer and it had a part of Rebalanced in it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm so grateful. I was like so excited. I was so honored. And then I was like, should I ask if he needs any help? Because I'm like, I was like, for me personally, I'm so toxically addicted to animating just exactly that like 2D side scrolling stick figure that doesn't have necessarily like cinematic cuts or like exactly that same flavor. And so I was like, oh my God, that would be amazing. And it was so much fun working in that. And then all the viral videos and stuff and animating to the videos in the background was just, it was wonderful. It's meant to be.
Damn.
Yeah. Everyone
all-
won.
We all kind of worked for Alan. Well, I remember I worked for Alan for like a little bit. It was when we worked on the League of Legends animation a long time ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that was fun. And you introduced me to Turquoise, and now Turquoise is
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My
That's
lead
that's
animator.
was when it happened.
Yep.
Yeah. So he brought me on to direct the League of Legends animation. That did pretty well as well. And then oh yeah, there it is right there.
Oh, Turquoise.
So
animated
cool.
that scene.
Yeah, and oh man, that's the old League of Legends. It's changed. It's changed a lot.
Oh, yeah, make a
But,
sequel now, Alan.
No. Okay.
But yeah, it's funny how we've all kind of worked together, but like we've kind of existed on a parallel,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
not really interacting too much, but like we were all kind of getting that work done.
I think that's
I
the
remember
perfect
at
segue.
this
go
this
ahead.
point in time, I remember there was a few people streaming their progress of this video. So it was like we got
Oh, yeah.
that was the first
yeah.
time we ever got like an in-depth look of how one of these videos are made. But like, was this completely different? Because I wasn't on the team by this point, honestly. But like, what was the? I mean, I know the pipeline's changed, but like, did it look pretty similar even back then, or was this animation very different to work on?
It was a big Google spreadsheet.
Yeah.
The biggest one we've ever had, I think. ton of jobs, ton of like FX, a lot of backgrounds, a lot of painted backgrounds. I think it was the first one we had painted backgrounds on. It was definitely probably the biggest one we'd ever made at the time.
Yeah, like to me, it was. I think it was the biggest like team production thing that I was involved in.
That was fun.
So like I didn't really know what I was doing, and then Alan was trusting me to like direct things, so it was kind of like I was learning as we were going, and I feel like
Yeah.
in that sense we ran into a few obstacles, of course. Um, I remember one of the big issues was that like the animation was like way too fast because Alan
Oh
like
yeah.
wanted everything slowed down, and I was like, why are you slowing these? These are so slow, bro. But then if you like look back at it, it actually makes sense because he wanted to hold those shots to like let those emotions sink in when like I didn't really know about that in the beginning.
We're kind of
So
terrible at that. That's like I think
yeah,
that's the biggest distinctive difference is like we're just so excited to like speed through one scene or one thing we're doing to the next thing, and we're okay with losing so much clarity. And it's like
yeah,
we really should, and with like taking the time and having the clarity for the things that are being executed is just absolutely so critical. And it's I think that's what's so masterful about with a lot of the various different series that you have going on is that like even in that shot right at the end there's so many things happening, but like it was lossless. Like the
Of course you have to
every
mention
part
it as soon
was
as I go away from
slowly moved over. Yeah, but like
it.
it's so I always loved that, that it feels so
Yeah.
comfortable and cozy, and you don't feel as like a viewer for the watching it for the first time that you have to like, oh, I have to go back, I have no idea, I need to go see this or that. It's just like it's so I don't know, it feels comforting to watch it.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was also nice to. I think this was the first one where I was not the only writer. I think Hyun and I had like writers' rooms. That was my
Yeah.
first time not being.
I remember I remember sitting in a call with Alan teaching him how to play League of Legends for the first time. Just so he can understand like my story points. Because there are things that he did not understand what was going on and what was the meaning behind some of the jokes, right?
Yep.
Because a lot of those are like if you play League you'll understand. But
Right.
anywhere else you wouldn't get it. So I actually had to teach Alan to install League of Legends and play it.
That's funny, dude.
Yep.
So I got another one here for you, Alan. And I think this is another one that's really important for anyone who is looking to get an animation, either to take this word of advice for yourself or to incorporate into your own story of your life. Is for Alan, if you could go back to when you started, whether it be when you started in animating or maybe when you started, getting into taking your channel or your animation seriously as a thing you were going to do, what piece of advice would you give to younger Alan and why?
Oh man,
Little Becker.
I don't really have too many regrets. I think I think I played it really safe, but I wonder if I played it too safe. Like maybe I could have scaled up faster. You just never know. I think that a lot of YouTubers they scale really quickly, and maybe that ends up making them burn out.
True.
But who knows? I feel like I could have taken more risks by like entrusting more people to help, because like if I had, maybe we would have seen a lot more cool things come out sooner instead of having to
Sure,
wait all
yeah.
this long.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I might have told him like it's okay to take risks. You can fail. It's okay to fail. I was like so scared of failure that I would just never take risks and I would just play it super safe.
Dude, same.
Yeah, I get that. I get that 100%.
Yep.
Sorry, I was getting lost in animation there for a sec.
I
I just remember. I remember.
Yo, bring it back.
When I was watching that, for the first time, from an animation perspective, and when he broke the timeline and it shifts down and all the frames start sliding over and coming out, I just remember thinking how overwhelming that would have been in my mind to like, yeah, right there. He breaks the timeline, and I'm thinking in my head, oh my god, he had to break apart the screenshot, and then he had to move them separately, and then having all the frames slide over. Like there were so many parts that wouldn't have looked good if you really didn't take very careful consideration.
Oh, that part right there.
That right there. That right there.
Mhm.
And I just remember that and be like, oh, yep, nope, can't do that. That's right there. I'm lost. And I right there. But at the same time, I was simultaneously sold to watch the rest of it completely because I was like interested in that hit. I was like, oh my god, this is incredible. But I do have another question. If you wanted to get started into stick figure animations, where do you think someone should go? And what kind of questions do you think they should be asking? Like they're inspired. Today's the last straw, and they're gonna get started. Where should they go? And what questions did they start with?
I mean, you guys don't need to go anywhere. You're in the right place.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. That's the right answer. Thank you for
A gold star.
glazing ourselves a bit too much.
I do not know a better place to go if you are into stick figure animations. I don't know of any. I mean, there's got to be other stick figure animation communities, but like, no, this is the place.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of the dojo people are now working for you, right?
Yes. I actually I would not be where I am without the people from this community that have joined my team. So
Man.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
cry, man.
It's the honest truth.
I'm glad though. I'm glad that we had a kind of like an indirect part of your journey and your success and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at the same time, you're giving other people opportunities that
Right.
before it was not even a possibility, right?
No, it wasn't a thing. It was not a thing.
Oh yeah,
It's
no.
not a career to be a stick figure animator.
It's very difficult to tell my family and relatives what I do for work. So I usually try to keep it like I work for an animation studio. But some of them need to know that it's stick figures, or rather, my parents tell them that it's stick figures, and then they get really confused.
Yeah. Just like you're like, can we just stop right there? The more I talk about this, the more you're gonna be more confused the further down the line we pull on this string. And that's the truth of it, because like back then, I mean, even just creating content, depending on how far back you go, that also wasn't even a job. Just creating things for the internet. What? That can't be a job at all. Like fundamentally, there's so many steps far removed from animating a stick figure animation to be placed online so that people on social media can share it as a job. That there's so many steps removed from that. Going back. So it is awesome that you've created this thing that helps create an opportunity for other people that are incredibly talented to be able to showcase something to the world. Because when you're creating things that bring so much joy to other people in the world, it has such a truly, truly profound impact. And sometimes it takes years to kind of understand that or feel that scope. But I'm sure, have you had people approach you and be like, oh my God, I've gotten to animation now because I saw this when I was growing up? Do you ever have people that approach you with that kind of like statement or question?
A lot of I think I'm probably responsible for a lot of people getting into animation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the most common thing that people tell me when they're meeting me as a YouTuber. I got an animation because of you. I'm going into college for animation because of you. I watched your 12 principles of animation. And I know so much because of you. Blah, blah, yeah.
It's so cool. I mean, it's life shaping. It's so cool.
And not only that, like not only do you inspire people, you have tutorials where they can kind of actually get started. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not surprised that you kind of got a lot of people into that field.
Yeah. I was gonna say like the Hyun's Dojo forums were like where I got so much. I think that's where I first got my first team members, like Shuriken and.
Oh man,
so I owe a lot to Hyun's Dojo for that.
Community's big.
that's good.
Community is so important in something like this, especially in animation, where even if you're in love with it, and you truly have to be in love with the process to be successful in animation. I wholeheartedly believe that. But having a community that you can kind of like bounce off of, and even affirm some of your ideas of how you might feel about something or whether or not you think something is cool, and just being able to show it to someone who has a very specific niche interest as well, and then be like, oh my god, that is so cool that you did that thing. That keeps people going and grows people in animation. I think you're right when it comes to like community being a really great place to start for anyone who wants to get into animation or stick figure animation specifically,
Dude, speaking of community, should
Yeah.
we look at some community artworks for this week?
Yes,
Like that?
that's very good. I like that a lot. That was good. You like that was
Thank you.
good. That was clutch.
So, oh yeah, this one is actually related to Alan Becker.
Look at
It's
that.
actually a fan art.
Whoa.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I don't know if you notice, Alan, but like when I go on Twitter, there's so much Alan Becker fan art out there.
There is.
I see it almost every day, and they're all really good.
There's insane.
Yeah,
like,
whenever you release
sometimes
a video, man, if you go on
Oh,
Twitter,
yeah.
your name will be trending, and all of that will just be fan art.
Even like the 30-second shorts, like they'll make a whole like masterpiece out of like
Yeah.
one of our shorts.
So cool.
Car Fib 1 looks great.
Insane.
Really nice effects.
Aw, I didn't.
Oh.
I had to set up that transition differently.
Ooh, a little bit of
Wow.
what isn't this like expressionist or something? A type of painting where it's like I don't even know. It looks really nice.
It does.
Oceanside. The
the
colors are so
colors.
nice. TomTCart.
Good job, man. Very nice. Is that who's that in the background? Is that a rabbit?
A rabbit in a coat.
Oh, him.
Okay. I was like, okay.
In the background, he's like in the center of the frame.
Yeah.
Very nice,
All
Tom.
right.
Wow.
All right, this is the
Oh.
last one by Andre Do.
That Andre Doe.
This looks like a Dojo duels going on over here. Or
It
something.
does, dude. Really sweet
Wait,
action
who are those
shot.
guys?
Hammer and a crossbow? Question
Yeah.
mark?
That looks
Very
That's their
cool.
names now. Hammer and crossbow.
The hammer and crossbow question mark. Crossbow?
very nice, guys. And
Very cool.
yes, we only have 3 artworks for this week, but if you guys want your art featured on the next podcast, just join the Discord link in the description and post your art in the art portal of our Discord, and then you might get featured for the next episode.
Perfect.
But yeah, good art, guys. Keep them coming. Oh my god! I just noticed our chat is a text window. That's
Cool.
funny.
Yeah. I spent a little bit too much time on this layout. Like I spent
That is-
several hours a couple days ago working this out, and there's a
That's
few
cute.
fun little
That's
Easter
cute.
eggs off to the left there.
Wait, what are
if
those
someone
file?
to
What
look.
are those file names over there?
folders,
I see
hello?
Let's see.
Yeah, it's some silly ones.
4.0. Figure spotlight.
Open the homework folder right now.
No,
Right now.
never. It's very personal homework.
Okay, got it. I got it.
All right.
Another question for you I was going to ask was, what is ABTV about? And
Ah.
why should someone be tuning in?
Tune in to ABTV. Yes, this is our 24/7 live stream that we started like this year. I don't know. We saw Preston Plays have a live stream, and I think Linus Tech Tips. It's just basically all the videos that we've ever made in a loop. Like babysitters can just turn it on and walk away.
That's so cool,
but-
though.
It's just for you babysitters.
If you're not watching someone's kids, then turn off, please.
No, but we're trying to make it like actually like fun by adding like little transitions between the episodes, like you're watching ABTV, and have like
That's cool.
some custom made little transitions with the characters, and we'll just keep making them and just keep adding them. So like every like right now there's a lot of repeats, but like eventually it'll get to the point where every single like transition between every episode is unique.
Wow. Because there's so much content. I mean, does it go all the way back to like animation versus or animator versus animation, or like how far back does it go?
That's
How much
how
does it
far
go?
back it goes. I mean, I don't include my non-animation stuff on my channel, like my trampoline time lapse or
Right, right.
music covers. But yeah,
Wait, so do you just have like a laptop in the corner of the house just running this away 24/7?
no, we pay a server that exists somewhere else in the world.
Got it. So it's
That
like
is
a
cool, though.
server. Interesting.
Yeah.
I will say, Hyun, that's exactly what I was thinking. I just imagined that there was just like a little station, and it's like, yo, that's it.
Just like a little, just a little Bitcoin.
Don't turn that
miner.
off. People watching.
Oh my god, did you just shut the laptop? No.
I'm telling you, if the dojo has a 24-hour live stream, that's probably going to be the setup.
That's
Yeah,
how
say.
I thought, dude. That's exactly what I thought.
It's going to be some $20 laptop in the corner just overheating away, and the screen's just lagging. You know, so. Oh my god, that's really cool though. Yeah, that's a really
I
good
like that a
idea.
lot. I like that a lot. I can really imagine, like, I could genuinely see it being something that people just put on and hang out. Like, I don't know if there's like an ecosystem of people that like hang out in there and talk, and because like you could, it's kind of like a chat, like you know, if it's a direct niche where you know I want to find people who like stick figure animation, and like maybe they don't know about Discord or any communities or anything. It's like it's a perfect way for people to sit there and be like, hey, what are you guys doing? I like this thing, you know, obviously. I think it's really cool. I mean, I think it's really cool. Yeah, I love that.
Very nice. Very nice.
So we also, Hyun, how long ago was the Chosen One tournament? How many?
It's been a few months now since the results, but yeah, I reached out to Alan way before that to see if he wanted to be a sponsor, and he graciously did become one of the sponsors for the tournament. So yeah, in a lot of ways, Alan was you know, doing stuff for our community as well. It wasn't just one way. So yeah, and I just wanted to ask, like how did you think of the tournament and how it was run and the results on that?
Oh man, it was like, first of all, a really like clever idea to do in the first place, and like the tiers and the ranking and having making a huge like event out of it. I mean, that in itself was amazing, but just like, yeah, I mean, this was the first one, right? Like, oh, I love
Yeah, it was the first one, so I'm glad you kind of, you know, trusted me with a lot of money to kind of
yeah,
pull this off.
yeah.
And yeah, I feel like the next one is going to be bigger, and love to have you on as well for that if you would. But
Oh yeah,
yeah,
of
I'm glad
course,
you liked it.
of course. Yeah, Fudge man as an animator. I don't know. I mean, yeah, anyway. Um, yeah, I also like was excited for it because I was like, okay, the top winners, I'm gonna be like scouting out for like people to hire and stuff, which we
Yeah.
actually did for a period. Like that was, anyway, yeah.
Yeah, you
Great.
look for some people to work with you as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one. And,
Good stuff.
So speaking of next projects, I know that people definitely would want to know what are some of the upcoming projects that you currently have in the works, Alan?
Yeah.
yeah, spill the details, man. There's no one watching.
So I mean, I've been seeing a lot of stuff in the chat about AVA 11. Many people are like, "Why'd you stop posting AVA episodes?" So I want you to continue it. You were supposed to continue. It's been like so long. And we've been working on it for over a year. This is
Wow.
probably the biggest one
Yeah.
It's going to be 20 minutes long. How much should I say about it? Anyway, yeah, it'll be here. We're pushing as hard as possible to get it done, get it out before the end of the year. So December, hopefully like early December, even late November, but that's unrealistic. That's coming. We have a Minecraft short we're working on about Bed Wars. Popular Minecraft minigame, and that one is really been that one's complicated because we're actually like using real Minecraft like acting with stick figures. We have Shuriken making an actual like mod to like record like Minecraft players, and then we put that into Blender and then have them fight against stick figures.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's been slaving away at that.
Yep.
I'm working real hard.
We got something. The next thing coming up is a 3-part series about green. I don't know if I should say anymore.
Green.
Wow.
Let's keep it there.
Yeah,
Any
that's
green
sweet.
fans
I
out
kind
there?
of want that one to be a surprise.
Yeah. I'll keep it right there.
But I am very excited for that one.
Wow.
Really cool.
Yep.
If you guys in the chat had any questions for Alan, we will be asking him some of the top questions. So yeah, feel free to ask away in the chat, guys. Anything that you want to know about Alan,
Ask
can go
away.
over.
Yeah.
Alan, of course, if you don't want, if it's a question that's NDA or something that you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer it, of course.
Sure.
But
Well, I reached out to one of Alan's servers. He has a members server. If you're a member on his YouTube channel, you get access to a special Discord server. And I told them a few days in advance that this would be happening, and they gave me a few questions. So we'll go over those real quick and give chat a little bit of time to give us some of their questions. But Origin of Xerxes, I don't know how to say that name. QTRXY, yeah. They want to know how many seasons do you want on AVA or AVM, or if you have any in mind.
Okay,
Like
so
how long they'll go.
I guess AVA is going to be at least 3 seasons. Season 3 is going to take a while. I mean, at this rate, it'll be I really hope it's not like 5 years until the season's done, but like that's the current rate. AVM, where we finished 3 seasons. We're currently on season 4. I have, like, as long as Minecraft's popular, I'm going to still make seasons of that. And AVA. I mean, as long as they're popular, I'm going to keep going. So that's the answer there.
All right.
Next question.
Emule asks, what's the biggest change to a character was between the script and the storyboard and the final product?
So King Orange used to be King Gray for a long time in my like.
Whoa.
he was gray.
Oh.
I know, guys.
God.
Such a big. Anyway, I didn't want him to be too much like Thanos though. I felt like if he would be gray, I was even considering making him like light purple, but like wait a second.
Oh man, you should have given him that squiggly chin too.
He's looking for some rocks. He's got a glove.
Yeah, exactly. So next question.
Yeah, Vegemite wants to know how much is planned in advance story-wise, and who are your biggest inspirations?
How much is planned in advance? Well, I mean, we try to plan everything in advance before working on stuff. Am I answering the question right? What do you think?
Well,
Do you guys have like a writer's room? Or does most of the ideas kind of like come from your imagination?
there are a lot of meetings.
A lot of meetings. Skim is my like kind of co-writer. He helps come up with a lot of stuff and helps plan. We do have a lot of story meetings. Actually, we AVA 11 did have it like a lot of overhauling. I think that's part of the reason
Really?
why it was taking so long, because we kept kind of like backtracking and realizing, we should actually do something totally different. So biggest inspirations, who are my biggest inspirations? What do you guys think I should?
Yeah, I think so. They weren't very specific with how they worded it, but answer it however you want.
Yeah. I get inspired by artists who are just doing the art. Honestly, I think I get inspired by my lead animator, Turquoise. He like
Man.
is like he knows how to get in the zone and just stay in the zone and cut out everything else. Like,
Oh yeah.
we only hear from him like twice a week.
It used to be twice a week. Now it's just once a week.
Yeah, we just have a meeting, and then he like appears. We talk to him, and then he leaves like back into
Wow.
the ether, and then
Yeah.
makes crazy stuff. Comes back, and he's like, "Okay, what do I? How is it? Do I fix it?" And I think I can take inspiration. Like, if I'm not cutting out like distractions, I can be very unproductive. But like, it's very important, especially in a creative field, like to be in the zone and when you're being creative. So
I'm surprised you said that, because a lot of us are inspired by. I mean, that was one of my main inspirations for getting started in animation. Was because of his animations as well, and it's just I don't know, man. It's something about him. He's literally built different. Like
He's
it's
got
insane.
that X factor. He always has. He always has. I remember I saw his animation on SFDT at the time, and this is 2004 maybe, I think. And I reached out to him, and I just like, I gotta know who made this. I think it was Mutationism, and it was just so unique. And you could just see, for what he has, this magic about how he goes about his animation, or what the kind of life that they bring. And he's had it since way back then. And he continue. It's hard to not be inspired by Turquoise.
Yeah.
Truly.
Mm-hmm.
Truly.
I'm glad he's still,
doing it.
hopefully doing what he likes to do, and
Yeah.
you guys are all working together.
Yeah.
All right. We'll move on to the next question. This is the last one from Alan's server, and then we'll head into your guys' questions chat.
Yeah.
But Book wants to know, how is the team organized? How are these roles delineated? And are they per video or per series?
Okay, so I could spend an hour talking about this, but I'll keep it to like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's me as the lead creative, and then Hatena is the line producer. He's kind of the umbrella under that. And then there's like project leads, and there's 3 project leads. One takes care of AVA, one takes care of all AVM, one takes care of everything else miscellaneous, and then under them there's each animator, and the animators are not like segmented into only a certain series. They basically, we just kind of, they work on everything and based on their like skill set. And then we have sound effects artists that are part of that. There's background artists that are part of that. We have a background lead also, and then a production assistant that helps Hatena take notes and do all that. Yeah, that's it. That's all you need. That's everything.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like everyone is always hands on deck, or like do you just have people that like sign up for the job if they're available for that time, or
They tell us if they are available, and if they're not, and if they are, we give them jobs basically.
got it.
Pretty much, if something is assigned, then we assign it to them if they're available.
Okay,
All right.
well, let's get to that. Your guys' questions.
Before we get to the real questions, we do have some people who have sent in lovely donations throughout the stream. Hyun, do you want to go through and read some of those?
Yes, sir. Wait, is it right here? Is this?
Oh yeah, it's all these.
Emule donated 3 times throughout this stream
Whoa.
with a total of $15, and says, "Chat, is this real?"
No.
Wait,
No, it's not.
also,
Everything here is AI.
and the second donation, Emule says, "It's not real. You're all being gaslit." And then the third one says, "Alan collecting animators like the Infinity Stones." I wouldn't say those are questions, but thanks for the donation, man. Modern Jack donated $2. Says, animator versus what? Animation versus animator episode 22, and that's all he said. That's
Wow.
there's no other context. Milky donated $2. Hi, Alan and Hyun Yang. Also, animator versus RHG. Oh, interesting. Interesting idea. Also, Purple Animation Studios donated $15. Says, "Oh my God, sorry."
Is that included?
Yeah, it said cough in parentheses first, and then
Sorry,
You're okay.
I'm holding it down. Actually, you read it down. I do read it.
Okay.
That's
They said your animations inspire all of us, and you made us improve our animations with your animations. How did you do these in the first place?
with the help of you guys. It's all everyone's just helping everyone.
community.
Community. That's your
Community.
answer. All right, and now we'll just dive into the actual questions. Brew does asks if Alan has a favorite figure. I'm assuming they mean stick figure, or if you have a favorite like physical figure.
Ooh.
No,
I'm sure they'd
world
love
is
to know that
listening.
as well.
no comment.
No comment.
It's like asking a
Orange.
parent like what's their favorite child.
Exactly.
Orange is my
It really
favorite
is.
child. Second Coming's my favorite. All the others are less than favorite.
Oh wow, wow,
Worst children. Just kidding. Next question.
wow.
I'm trying to look for some good ones. Sorry.
Yeah, no
Oh, there's
worries.
a big list, right? So
There are already a lot. Sorry, this is already more viewers and chat interaction that we've had out of all of these yet. So do give us some patience. Any advice for... Oh, sorry. Moas Animates asks, is there any advice for animators struggling to break into the industry / studios, be it indie or major ones?
Ooh. Yeah, I wish I knew what was going on in the industry. What I hear is that it's like falling apart right now, and
Yeah.
which is sad. It's like when we put out a call on LinkedIn for animators, we got so many applicants, and I hear that everyone's just out of work. So it's
Damn.
tough.
Really?
Wow.
So yeah.
So it's pretty rough out there.
That's what I hear. Yeah, I wish I had some advice. Get good at stick figures and then work for me.
There you go.
I'll help you guys.
I don't know. I mean, try to get your hands into as many doors as possible. Because in this industry, it's a lot of who you know. Because if you know someone, then that's already going to give you a huge leg up in getting hired elsewhere.
Yeah, that's how I found Datena. He just knows everyone.
Yeah, can I tell that story actually? I love
Sure,
that story.
sure.
For April Fool's, I believe it was 2022 of April Fool's. I did this bit where over 2 days I recorded like 50 face reveals for different members of the community, and I just convinced them to let me upload it to their channel or Twitter or whatever they wanted, and too many people said yes. So then I recorded face reveals for those people, and then Alan saw that and he's like, "Yeah, I want that guy. I want this guy who looks like he's losing his mind in half of these videos."
He seems like a people guy.
Yeah. But hey,
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, I already knew. I already knew a lot of the people who already worked for Alan at that point, so it didn't 100% shock me. What shocked me was how I got hired, or what inspired Alan to reach out.
Yeah.
That's
never
what I
know.
thought was so silly. But yeah, it's pretty much who you know in this industry, though a good resume goes a long way as well, and just trying to
That's it.
apply anywhere you can.
So loop back. It's get really good at stick figures and know everyone. It's really easy. Just do those
Yeah.
two things.
No, everyone.
Everyone. Start meeting everyone you can.
I have a lot of people ask me that same question, like how do you get your foot in the door, right? I think the best thing that you can do as an independent artist right now is just try to learn as much as you can and post
yeah.
your work as much as you can in like every social media. It could be TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and just keep posting, and eventually you will land opportunities. Like they will come, and you just have to take them like when they come. But yeah, you have to put yourself out there 100%.
Yeah.
Great. That's great
Yeah,
advice.
it's ironic because a lot of animators are known to be introverts, but it's a lot of communication in this industry.
Yeah.
That's big.
So,
Because I know a lot of
the next question.
Oh yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead.
sure.
Hey, Alice.
Yeah, let's move on.
All right.
Um,
Who's
a good
highlighting
one.
the goat fingers question, which is an
It's me. I
awesome
don't-
name, by the way.
I know. I liked the name. I'll ask the question. So, because I hear this a lot, and I only knew this person from a while ago, but I'm kind of curious. So, Alan, what is it like working with Guz? I think it's Guz. It says Guzu, but I think it means just Guz, right?
Yeah, it's Guz.
I'm not sure. But,
Yeah.
on your animator versus animation showdown, because I feel like that was really pivotal for me watching that, and that was really really impressive. And I think, all right, I don't know for sure, but Guz seemed to be an important aspect to that.
Yeah. So, people that don't know, Guz did the animatic for the first minute of Wanted. Wait.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wait. No, I gotta pull up that
No,
one
wrong
instead.
one.
One
Wrong
sec.
one.
Yeah, that's the wrong one. No,
Oh,
it's
well,
the 3D
yeah,
one,
so-
right?
Yeah. I guess he also helped with the showdown also though. Yeah, I found him on Twitter and reached out, and he was interested. But yeah, we struggled with the beginning
that
of
is
this.
crazy.
Oh, crazy.
Tell
we
me
struggled
about
with
it.
the beginning of this. We went through so many iterations, so many storyboards. We got like someone from the industry to do storyboards. It didn't end up looking. It was like repetitive. We even I think Turquoise did something. And then gave it to Guz. He made this. We even had a little disagreement about this specific part right here. I was
Mhm.
Oh
like,
boy.
fast. It's too fast, and he's like, no, trust me. This is how. This is like what they do in like Arcane and other like things. It's like fast paced. You can't really tell what's going on, but it sells. And I was like, okay, let's leave it. So that was
So cool.
Interesting.
So
interesting.
cool.
Yeah, because it's completely different when it comes to the style and what you're used to, right, Alan?
Yeah.
I mean, it worked though. It's really good. So, like, how much creative freedom do you actually give like a person like Guz when it comes to storyboarding these kind of things?
I set the parameters. Depending on skill level, like I set the stage, the parameters, the characters, what the characters' motives are, what their powers are, what their weapons are, like basically where the basic beats are. But I don't specify like what the angles are or like the exact timing. Or a lot of times I let them kind of like. When you animate, like a lot of things you kind of have to do it in the moment, or you have to figure out in the moment. You can't like know that in advance because it's like the animators kind of like living the scene in real time as they animate, kind of. Sometimes, like,
Yeah.
you don't know
Mhm.
where the context is going to be, like, oh, they're going to be facing this way when this happens, so I have to make them go that way. So I give them a lot of freedom because I know that they will probably have to make tweaks once they actually get into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. And it really shows that
It does.
they had freedom with it. Because when I first saw like a fight scene like that, I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way you could just plan this ahead of time. It's just
Yeah.
kind of, it's
Yeah.
so I don't even know. It blends so well into each shot that you just have to like let them do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you trusted them with that because it turned out really good. Damn.
All right, we'll move on to the next
It's
question.
beautiful.
Box of Crayons asks, what is your opinion on Alan Becker with faces plus voices? Which I know we kind of took.
Ooh.
We kind of took inspiration from this guy with the faces shorts, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Oh, was there a
But
short
yeah,
that had
he-
faces?
Yeah, we've done a couple. I remember I pitched the idea, and then I think Skim wrote it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. I
that's something
mean,
we've tried out.
it's you know, it's borderline stealing, but it's they're still adding some, you know, some fun element to it, and so like I legally could copyright strike them all, but I don't. They're still bringing. I mean, you could also argue that they're taking away views from the channel, but it's not enough to the point where it makes a big difference, and it does bring more awareness to our brand and channel. So it's
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta, you know, just let things pass.
yeah,
Because you know they're having fun with it and they're fans as well.
yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Purple Lettuce, but the font is real weird, asks, how do you come up with your stories?
It's actually hard. It's difficult. It takes like sometimes I'll just sit there for hours, like just staring at the screen, and like nothing will come up. So I do like kind of ask for help, like in the team. They they'll help come up with ideas. A lot of things is like, you know, you have to like take something that's already done well and do it as something similar, or you know, to come up with something completely original. It kind of just has to hit you, you know, like you just have to be open to just like it appearing in your brain at some unexpected moment.
Yeah, those are the best ideas too.
I think that happened with animation versus math. That I don't remember where that came from, but it was a source of many new ideas that we have a lot more.
Yeah, the math series
room to go.
that was widely popular. It went super viral, right?
Yeah, so now we can do animation versus every education topic.
I'm pretty sure like teachers around the world are like showing that to their classes as well.
Yeah, they should.
Oh, 100%.
Can imagine that. Very cool.
All right. Po Boy Draws asks, have you ever been interested in doing any non-stick figure animation?
No, it's too much work. but I like if it came to it, like if it would be if it would be essential to the plot, absolutely. Like if we're doing an animation versus some character that's not a stick figure, I don't know, like Sonic or something, and they have to be like
Right.
fully drawn or fully 3D animated, then absolutely we'd go the extra mile to make it look like they're exactly how they should be. Like I wouldn't make a stick figure version of them.
Yeah. Cool. Nice. I think we should wrap it up with the questions soon. It's past an hour now, right?
Yeah. We're at an hour and 20 minutes. We'll do this last one. We'll call it there. Azor Artman asks, do you ever feel that any episode has not gone the way you originally envisioned?
Oh. So the box, like, there was like a fight scene in the box where victim and the chosen one fight inside the box, and victim has the upper hand because he can control all everything that happens in the box. He can change the physics and everything. I feel like I gave Turquoise a little bit too much creative freedom with that one.
Wow.
Because he basically made it, and then I was like, oh, that's actually completely different from how I wanted. But he's already done it, and it's like too much work to kind of go back, and so we just kind of went forward with it. But if I had gone back in time, I might have been a little bit more specific about how I wanted it to go. But yeah, it's still great. It's still great.
Right.
Yeah, it's just different, right?
It's just different.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right. I think that'll do it.
Yeah, I think that's it, you guys. How was it? How was Alan in the podcast, you guys? You like?
I think he could have done better, personally.
I'm sorry.
I think it was awesome. Like, there's so many things I didn't know about you that I learned. So I'm glad to have you on, man.
Yes,
And,
thank you for coming on.
This is quite possibly the closest I've ever been to Alan Becker. Like, I have the best view right now. Looking up at
The perspective on your POV must be wild
This
right
is-
now.
yeah,
This
this is-
huge
this is-
cursor.
Can we get someone to please draw what his perspective
What-
might be?
yeah, his actual
I'd
POV
love
right
to
now.
see that.
Oh,
Make sure
man.
it's like squinted too, so you only see like a.
You see a window.
Just
and-
huge black bars on the top and bottom.
I feel like Alan is like about to finish me off right now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's great.
Well, thank you, Alan, for coming here and sitting on your couch, on your desktop.
Thanks
We
for joining me
podcast
on my
sometime.
couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was fun. This was great. It was like a reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it feels
We're
good.
all
Yeah, it
friends.
felt good.
Yeah.
I'm glad this happened. But yeah, thanks guys for tuning in to the podcast. What should we do to close this out?
We just end it.
All right,
Proper
we'll
outro.
just-
All
Yeah,
right, bye,
just think it's
guys.
Bye.
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 I love